Welcome back to NT Coins World. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating top two Lincoln pennies, the 1969 Lincoln cent and 1975 Lincoln cent. While these coins might seem ordinary at first glance, some rare varieties have sold for staggering amounts, reaching as high as $70,000. Even in fine condition, there are certain factors that could make your coin much more valuable than you think. So, let's explore the history, key errors, and market value of the 1969 Lincoln penny and 1975 Lincoln penny, because who knows, you might just have a hidden treasure sitting in your collection. The year 1969 was a time of massive change in the United States. It was the year humans first set foot on the moon, the Vietnam War was at its height, and Richard Nixon was in office. Amid all this, the US Mint was busy producing millions of Lincoln pennies. But what makes the 1969 penny stand out? Let's break it down. This penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which had been in circulation since 1959, replacing the wheat penny design. It was struck in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition that would later change in 1982 due to rising copper prices. The total mintage for the Philadelphia minted 1969 penny was approximately 1,136,910,000, meaning over 1 billion coins were produced. So in most cases, a regular 1969 penny isn't extremely valuable unless it has certain errors or is in exceptional condition. Now let's get to the exciting part, errors and varieties. Some 1969 pennies have rare characteristics that can make them worth thousands. The most famous is the 1969 S double die obverse, but since we're focusing on a Philadelphia minted penny, let's talk about other potential valuable varieties. Double die obverse, less dramatic variant. While the famous double die was found on 1969 S pennies, there are some minor double die varieties on Philadelphia minted coins. These usually show slight doubling on the date or liberty. While not as dramatic, they can still be valuable depending on how strong the doubling is. If your 1969 penny was struck off-center, meaning the design is misaligned and part of it is missing, this could increase its value significantly. Off-center strikes between 10 to 50% off can fetch anywhere from $20 to over $500, depending on how much of the design is visible. While minor cracks may only add a small premium, larger ones or full cuds can increase the value significantly. This occurs when the metal sheet used to create the coin was incorrectly cut, resulting in a piece of the coin missing. Depending on the size and location of the clip, these can sell for $50 to over $200. Now let's talk about what your 1969 penny in fine condition is worth. Since billions were made, a regular 1969 penny in fine condition usually holds only face value, about 1 to 3 cents, due to copper content. However, if your coin has any of the errors we mentioned, it could be worth $20, $100, or even more. For reference, here's what some high-grade and rare varieties have sold for. A 1969 penny in MS67RD sold for over $3,500. A 1969 off-center strike fetched around $200 to $500 at auction. Even a small die crack could boost the value to $10 to $50. Great. Now let's dive into the 1975 Lincoln penny and explore its history, key varieties, errors, and market value in fine condition. This section will smoothly transition from the previous discussion on the 1969 penny while keeping the audience engaged. Now that we've explored the 1969 Lincoln penny, let's fast forward a few years to another interesting coin, the 1975 Lincoln cent. While it might not seem like much at first glance, some rare varieties and errors can make this coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and with millions of these pennies still circulating, you might just find a valuable one in your pocket change. Let's break it all down. The year 1975 was a time of transition for America. The Vietnam War was coming to an end. The The country was recovering from an oil crisis, and inflation was rising. Amidst all these changes, the US Mint was busy producing billions of Lincoln pennies. But there's an interesting twist. This was the final full year before the introduction of the 1976 bicentennial coinage, making it a significant period for US coins. The 1975 Lincoln penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. It features Abraham Lincoln's bust on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo. Like previous pennies, it was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, but that would soon change in 1982 when the mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition due to rising copper costs. Now here's an important fact. Billions of these pennies were struck. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, 5,451,476,142. Denver Mint, D mint mark, 4,505,275,300. San Francisco Mint S mint mark, proof only 2,845,450. That means over 9.9 billion business strike pennies were made. With such high numbers, a normal 1975 penny in circulated condition isn't particularly rare. But don't be discouraged. Some special varieties and errors can make them highly valuable. Let's get to the exciting part. Valuable errors and varieties to look for in your 1975 Lincoln pennies. While not as famous as some other double-die pennies, the 1975 Lincoln Cent does have minor double-die obverse DDO varieties. These can show slight doubling on the lettering, particularly "In Liberty" or "In God We Trust." While minor DDOs may sell for $20 to $50, a strong double-die could fetch $100 or more, depending on the grade. Coins that were struck off-center can be quite valuable. A 5 to 10% off-center strike may be worth $10 to $50, but if the design is 50% off-center while still showing the full date, it could sell for $200 to $500 or more. Some 1975 Lincoln pennies have die cracks that can appear anywhere on the coin. A common one is the BIE error, where a small die break forms a raised bump between the letters B and E in LIBERTY. Depending on the severity, these can sell for $10 to $50, and sometimes even more. If your 1975 penny has a curved or straight clipped edge, it could be a clipped plancher error. These can sell for anywhere from $50 to $300, depending on how dramatic the clip is. Some 1975 pennies were struck with grease-filled dies, causing missing or weak lettering. While common, extreme cases where entire words are missing can be worth $50 to $200. So, what is a regular 1975 penny in fine condition worth? Because of its massive mintage, a standard circulated 1975 penny is typically worth just 1 to 3 cents due to its copper value. However, if you have one with an error, the value jumps significantly. For reference, here are some notable sales. A 1975 Lincoln penny in MS67RD sold for over $3,800. A dramatic off-center strike fetched $400 at auction. A BIE error penny sold for $75. So is your 1969 Lincoln penny a 1975 Lincoln penny valuable? If it's a standard circulated one, it's likely only worth face value. But if you find one with an error, like a double die off-center strike or die crack, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Always inspect your coins carefully, and if you think you have something rare, consider getting it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. That's it for today's video. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin discoveries. And tell me, have you ever found an error penny in your change? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.